Dude, I'm having so much fun right now. Oh my goodness. They call this work. That's what they call this.
All right, so what we'll go through is some pattern testing. So not a lot of people know this, but most people when they buy buckshot, they don't realize that there's many different variations. So you can buy like 9 pellet or 8 pellet. This one is a military. You can see it here on the side. It's like a green hold. Winchester makes it. 9 pellet double aught buck. And then we're gonna compare that to flight controlled ammo. And this is pretty standard across the board for most law enforcement agencies. They're running this stuff. And it's hard to find, but when you can get it, it's a game changer for sure when we're shooting here. And we'll show that the two of these compared. So we'll do 5, 10, 15, and 25. We'll just do one round on each. And what's cool is we're gonna do it with our 5-inch barreled and the new Ventum 12K suppressor. Show its capabilities for compared to like an 18-inch or what most people are used to.
So this is the military.
Yep, non-flight control. And we'll do that. We can probably load it up all 4 rounds and then we'll just walk back, do them all, and then we'll come back and assess them. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good. What kind of difference are we expecting to see between the military and the flight control?
So at closer distances, like our 5-yard line, you'll probably be pretty close to the yard line in spread. So I anticipate somewhere around a 5 to 6 inch spread at the 5-yard line.
Okay.
Same thing at the 10 and so on. And if you go back to 25, if you use that, I mean, that's a 2-foot spread, right? So it's pretty significant once we get back there. But so 5-yard line, you can go load, make ready. We'll start on the far left target. And when you're ready, just give me a single shot somewhere right in the center of that silhouette.
Okay.
All right, 10-yard.
Smiley face.
Yeah, it looks
So
like
smiley face
it
on
does
that
look
guy.
like a smiley face. All right.
All right.
When
10
you're ready,
yards, same thing.
10 yards.
So what would you say? That's about like a 10-inch spread.
Yeah, I got a ruler, a tape measure, so we'll grab that. Here's our 15. We'll measure them all just to kind of get a rough feel for it.
Okay.
All right, 15 yards.
What are we expecting to see from 25?
I'm thinking it's at least 24 inches.
24 inches?
Yeah, so it's a 2-foot spread.
Okay.
So out of 9 pellets, I'll usually anticipate seeing somewhere about 6.
Okay.
6 pellets on that whole piece of paper. Awesome. All right, let's go check it out. This is where it gets fun. Now, it's important to do this because, I mean, obviously, one, shooting like a squirrel gun, like a short barrel, like a 5-inch barrel, you're not sure what the spread's gonna do, and all ammo is different. And this actually is pretty interesting. So out of this, one, we don't have any impacts in the white at all. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the wad.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 4 impacts on the paper. So, you know, it is what it is. So maybe 25 yards with that type of buckshot, probably gonna need to change over your ammunition or close that gap. But at 15 yards, so it's 9 pellets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9. So we have all accountability on the whole piece of paper. What's this piece of paper? It's probably what, 2 by 4-ish? 2 by 2.5, almost 3, 2 by 3. Okay. So let's take a look at what this spread is. What do you think? Probably there to there. So we're at 21 inches. So that's quite a bit of spread even at 15 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's make a note. Let's just put that, we'll put 15 and then I'll put 21 inches for that first spread. Now 10 yards, this isn't so terrible, right? So we got accountability 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have all 9 spread.
With 1 out.
Yep, 1 out. We're at 11 there. That one's 10, so we'll call that 11. So 10, that's 11 inches. So like I said, you're close to that yard line, and that's kind of what I start to expect to see. And this one was our 5-yard, and this one, clearly everything's in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can see the cluster here, 8, and then there's the wad and 9.
Yeah.
So that wide. It's 6. So we're at a 6-inch group, which that's honestly what I pretty consistently see across the board. Now, I will say that temperature can change this, you know, the suppressor cleanliness. There's a bunch of other factors in there. The lot that you're shooting out of. You know, again, this is like really inexpensive buckshot. It's the green hull from Winchester. Okay, so we're gonna just leave this as is, and we're gonna pattern now with the flight control stuff. So maybe just aim that a little bit higher, especially on this closer one. Obviously, once we,
nape of the neck maybe.
Yeah, okay. And then we'll see what that spread looks like in comparison on the same target.
5 meters, I say it's acceptable for CQB distances with that little 5-inch spread.
Yeah.
10 meters.
It starts to get
it's a little questionable because especially if you have if you have people in the background and stuff. So, and then obviously at 15 and 25 we're getting a little uglier.
Yeah, I mean if your acceptable foreground and background are acceptable, maybe 15 yards is acceptable distance.
Right.
But if you're doing a hostage shot, you know, you got a minimum exposure position, you know, that becomes a little bit harder at the 15-yard to guarantee it. You know, whether it's, you know, someone fighting around the corner, they have this and he falls back and that's all you have is a knee hanging out. Again, that might be hard. 10 yards, you could probably do it, but again, it's all situation dictates.
Right. And so this is the flight control.
Yeah, this is federal flight control. What it does is it basically slows the opening process. It's like a captured shot cup, essentially. So right off the bat, you'll see it's gonna be like a single hole at 5 yards.
Okay.
So it's gonna look like a slug just came out of this thing.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, here we go, 5 meters.
Yep, flight control, here we go.
Jeez.
So, I mean, obviously the initial impression off this is, and like we did earlier, we did the bore offset with a slug at 3 meters. Well, at 5 meters, this is still holding together as a singular shot. So if you had to make a headshot or a close minimum exposure shot like this, it's super easy to do.
I mean, that hold off from where I was aiming to my point of impact was the same as my AR.
Yeah.
There is no like extra deviation I had to make from my point of aim. So nape in the neck is where I aimed and we see where we hit.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be a little bit lower, and then as you move your way back, you'll start to see that deviation, just like with your AR, it's gonna start to level out.
Right.
So.
Flight control. Aiming at the cue. Jeez, man. I thought I was gonna see a bigger spread.
No, it's this stuff. This stuff is next level.
All right, here we are.
And I think this is why it's so hard to get, because when you throw it, especially when you're looking at this package with a 5-inch barrel and suppressed, and you're able to throw out stuff like that for patterning, it's just, it's pretty wild. All right, so what's it, 15?
Great. Okay, so I'll aim at the cue.
Yep. We should see some opening on this one for sure. Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, I can tell from here everything impacted. All right, 25.
All right, here we go.
Nice. All right, so let's walk up on 25. So you can already see from back there.
Huge difference from the get-go, huge difference. Especially on the 25. I wasn't expecting to get as many impacts.
I think we have all 9 in the belly there. So what you can see, I mean, even comparing this 25-yard shot to the non-flight control at 15 yards, this accountability of hit ratio to pellets on the target is significantly greater. So, I mean, we have all 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all 9 are right here with 1 in the gray there.
Right. And this spread pattern looks, with the flight control, looks similar to the spread pattern at 10 meters with the non-flight control.
Exactly.
Right. So you're getting this kind of accuracy out of this round.
Yeah, I mean, it's sub 9 inches from that, so it's 12 inches from there to there. So that is with the flight control, where before we barely had accountability of anything and nothing in the white. You know, we had, what was it? I think it was 6 impacts total. Let's look at this one.
But the amount of confidence that you get from this data,
yes,
in order to take a 25-meter shot with that round, like, is dramatic, because like this is scary to me. you know, on a man-sized target, this kind of lack of accountability versus this.
Totally.
I feel good about that if I had that data, knowing I had that round in my gun.
That's why I like to do the non-flight control first. So you're like, I don't think I would make that shot. So this is awesome. We have the wad impact. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's another one in here, maybe even in there. I mean, I saw this was the whole impact, everything.
There's probably like one right there.
So we know that the impact, let's just call it from there to there as our long area. So that's a 7-inch spread. So our flight control is 7 inches. So
Compared
I
to
mean,
21.
Yeah, 21 to 7. I mean, we're talking 7 inches is what you expect at, you know, roughly 5 yards from the non-flight control stuff. So from the Winchester. So this is
on a 7-inch barrel, mind you.
5-inch.
Sorry, 5-inch barrel, mind you.
Yeah. So this one is, I love this one. It's almost a singular hole. We had one guy start to open up over here. That was just a tear. So literally,
it's all in there.
3 inches, and then 2.5.
Yeah, that's a huge difference from 11.
Yeah, and then obviously
Here.
this one, it's a single hole. So, you know, single hole for a 12 gauge is roughly 1 inch. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, this is one of the things that I like try to impart on people is to take time to pattern the ammo you pick. You know, whether it's Hornady's got some great 12 gauge ammo, you know, Federal obviously has their flight control stuff, low recoil ammunition. It just gives you, and this is low recoil. I forgot to even talk about that. So this is 1145 on the box, and I believe the Winchester ammo, they don't have it marked on the box, but it's usually like a 1200 feet per second or 1250 feet per second.
Yeah, the recoil between the two are significantly different.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Flight control felt better.
Oh yeah, 100 times better. Yeah. So you can definitely, again, it gives you that confidence to even take follow-on shots quickly.
Oh yeah.
You know, so unlike even this, because you know you're not going to get that perfect sight picture on those follow-on shots, especially if it's time sensitive.
Totally.
But yeah.
It's funny you say follow-on shots. You know, the very first time I shot like a full auto, and I was using buckshot, and it was the non-flight control, and I did it at about 7 yards. This whole thing with 10 rounds, you know, it's 90 pellets in a target in about a second. And when you look at how many impacts you get, you start to like evaluate your hit factor and how effective it is. This is equivalent, roughly those BBs that come out, they're roughly 55 grains. They're a little bit less. Okay. So imagine it's like a rifle projectile out of your 223.
Yeah.
But it's 9 at one time.
At once, yeah.
So I stopped saying like 1, 2, 3, it's 9, 9, 9. So every time you pull the trigger, you're throwing 9 out. Or if you're shooting a slug, another way to look at that is displacement. It's a 73 caliber. It's .73, you know, like the old in the movie Snatch when he's like, mine says .50.
.50.
Yeah, mine says .73.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Really cool, really cool. And then again, but like what's really impressive is just getting this out of a 5-inch barrel from 25 meters. Because again, you know, we're talking about CQB application, we're talking about any kind of close quarters, you know, or your average kind of firefight distance of, you know, 30 feet on the outside.
And one of the things is, like, I like to compare this roughly to our 10-inch barrel. So our 10-inch barrel in overall length with a fixed stock like this is about this is 1 inch shorter than our 10-inch in overall length. Now, I am gonna say that the Huxworks suppressor is unique because it's a monocore design. So we're actually gonna get increased muzzle velocity, and we're basically acting like a barrel extension. So one thing that we're never gonna do is we don't wanna sell our 5-inch guns without suppressors. So if you don't want a suppressor, then 7-inch will be the shortest we go. Mm-hmm. Additionally, the concussion that you get out of the 5-inch without the suppressor is just massive. So the Huxworks can reduces that blast by 60%, and we get a longer barrel because it's monocore. So imagine a barrel extension. So in all the testing we've done, we see that these results are about the same as our 10.5-inch gun, but you have the benefits of a suppressor. So
right.
Reduced sound, reduced pressures, reduced flash, all the things that you'd want. So,
yeah,
and it's in a compact system. So whether you're going with this or shorter
this is what I mean when I say rather than trying to articulate why people should buy the gun, it's like, I wish I could just give somebody the gun. Be like, dude, just shoot it.
Yeah.
Because then you understand why you want one, you know, versus me trying to talk you into it. But yeah, man.
Yeah, to here's the doubt, to see is be deceived, but to feel
to
is to
feel,
believe.
that's it. To feel and do, yeah. Well, dude, I think you guys are doing great, man. This is a cool demo. I never actually participated in a demo like this. This is the first time I've shot flight control, you know, 12 gauge ammo, and I'm super impressed with this. Now I need to go buy some of this.
Yeah.
I need to go buy some.
Super. Thank you.
Good demo. Thank you for that.
So we're just on you. You can go ahead and load up. We're just going to try to reach out to that 50-yard steel with the slugs and see what we get. Are you rolling?
Yep.
All right, we're good here.
On you.
All right, so shooting slugs at about 50, 55 meters on C-zone steel. I jerked that. You can see the impacts too, so.
So
I mean, my first couple were like dead center. I threw one left, and then one low, and then one back in the middle.
isn't that nuts? So like at your carbine, you can just stand back here and do a standing, unsupported.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's a C-zone.
Your deviation of error between this and your AR is probably about the same on impact.
Yeah.
So it's really comes down to user error at the end of the day.
Totally.
Because a gun's fine. If we put this gun in a vise, I think we're gonna hit that every time.
Yeah.
But then obviously user error is what causes misses and stuff. So now what are we gonna shoot?
Oh, we're gonna try a flight control at 50 yards and see if we even hear a pellet hit.
Okay.
You got one. But did you see all the pellets like literally
Yeah.
littered all over the
Yeah. I got most of my dirt on the right side, so I probably hit a little bit right. But yeah, we still got them in there.
Yeah.
One at least.
It does it all.
I kind of want to reach out from the back that back berm to like this back steel with one of the slugs. You think we can do it?
That's worth a try.
I think it's just slightly under 100, maybe.
Okay, well, we can try it. Let's see what happens.
Hey, Damon, you have your rangefinder?
Yeah, I can grab it.
All right, so we're shooting this slug round out of this 5-inch, suppressed at about 103 yards out to that back C zone, that back row C zone there. Let's see if we can't hit. Jeez. Yeah, honestly, I think if this was something that somebody, an agency or anybody just wanted to really get the data from, they could easily get data from this, but also that data would probably give them the confidence to now be able to shoot this, maybe support it off a barricade or something like that.
Totally. A prone position out at 100, you can get steel zone,
Yeah.
steel hits.
And this is cool for distance, but like the realistic application here is not there.
No.
But for distance and for data, it's cool. Yeah.
Well, and it's like anything else. You don't know until you try it, right? And,
Yeah.
You did it standing at 100, so there you go. 103.
103.
Hey, rather than me telling you to like, subscribe, and comment, watch this full auto video and still do those things.